Hello and welcome to episode number 49 of Tuesdays at 2. It's hard to believe, 49. So today we're going to have a great topic, something that's really close to my heart. I'm passionate about career management, but even more passionate about networking, relationship management, relationship building. So today's topic is how to rapidly build a network from scratch. Now, I'm regarded as a fierce networker. When I used to travel prior to COVID, I always used to try and meet at least 5 new executive recruiters and another 20 people at the senior executive level within my demographic, because it's all about target marketing. So networking is so important. Now, I'm talking about rapidly growing your network from scratch today. But here is my tip. You should have already been networking. You should have already been building your network from the day you entered college, university, or just graduated from other high school or academic institution. Networking is the best you can have in career management. If you don't network, your career will fall flat. In fact, it probably will wobble and may not even move along at all. Networking is crucial today. So we're going to talk about how to, in my view, as an expert, network rapidly to build your relationship, build your network up. As I say, you should have been starting to build your network when you were in your academic institution, university or college. So a network normally isn't built overnight. But if you are caught stranded, obviously you haven't listened to any career management practitioner like myself, and you aren't sensibly managing your career, and now you're terminated, now you're laid off, now you're canned, or whatever you want to call it, and you think, oh my gosh, I am stranded. Yes, you are. So you need to build a network. And it's not building, it's nurturing and maintaining that relationship. Those who have listened to my Tuesdays at 2 before, building a relationship with an executive recruiter is very hard. And don't just build it when you want them. You have to maintain that relationship, because you will want them again when you're next terminated, or you decide your ambition, your drive, you want to get to the next level. You want a new challenge. So relationship management, networking is crucial. So start online. Just within the last 20 or so years since the internet, it's made career management generally a lot easier, and definitely networking. You can connect with somebody from Toronto, you can connect somebody in Auckland, New Zealand, London, UK, or Beijing, China. You need to start networking. You need to also define your target. Don't be like this or even like this. You need to be target marketing within the networking environment. The more targeted you are, the more rewards will come your way. So start online. What platforms have we got today that are easy to use and virtually free? We've got LinkedIn. I mean, you can't get a better platform than LinkedIn. LinkedIn is like gold, a gold nugget to your career management. You need to be furious on LinkedIn. If you are in career transition, i.e. unemployed, I would say you need to treat your job search as a full-time gig, but you also need to treat it with respect and be professional. I'm just going to put the I've just forgot to put the questions on. Hang on, just wanted to make the comments. So anybody got any comments? Please feel free to ask any questions, not just on networking, how to rapidly build your network, but ask questions on career management. So LinkedIn was worth gold to you. I would suggest if you are in career transition or you're just managing your career, even when you're gainfully employed, you need to have the premium edition. It costs little, but it brings huge rewards. Then we have Facebook. Now, a lot of people frown. They don't like Facebook. It had a reputation many years ago, many years ago, for other things that really it doesn't now. It is a business site. It is also a networking site. I have met many interesting people and I've helped them through meeting them on Facebook. So there's no reason why you, the viewer, you cannot use Facebook to network. So LinkedIn, Facebook, and I would suggest definitely if you're in sales and marketing, you need to use Twitter. Twitter can bring you huge, like massive value. Twitter is one of the best sites today. It's growing. So you need to use Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Now remember, I'm very hot on this. My network is very close to me, very important to me. I want to nurture, I want to build that relationship. I want to build it sensibly. It's not quantity, it's quality. So don't just go out and connect with anybody just because you have to build that network. You need to be very focused, targeted, as I said a couple of minutes ago. Anybody got any questions? Please feel free to ask questions. So targeted, you need to build that network and you need to retain that network. So quality over quantity. That is very important to me, and hopefully it's important to you. You can go out and connect with thousands just in the next 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 hours, but will they bring you value? Probably not. You need to target market. So quality over quantity, and leverage your personal network. We've all got a huge network. Those that are older, the bigger network you have, and you need to network that for your career management, because I'm going to suggest to you, the older you get, the less chance you are going to be hired as a result of an advert on a job board. You're going to be hired because you know someone or you've been networked into a company where you want to work. So nurture that network, personal network. Then you have ex-colleagues. As I say, the more mature you are, you have more ex-colleagues. Look them up. Where did you work 20 years ago? And who did you work with? You'd be surprised. Many of my clients have found their next opportunity through networking with ex-colleagues they worked with 20 or even 30 years ago. Many of them are now higher than them, and they've gone into recruiting positions. They can recruit. They have a function where they have a department and they need to recruit. And if they remember you and you've created that positive impression, there you go. The door might open. So it's all about opening doors. Very important. Friends. We all have hundreds of friends. Tap into your friends. Tap into your family. Obviously, family, your close-knit family, are very caring. They want you to be successful in your career. And of course, they want you to get back to work if you are in career transition pretty damn fast, because it's in their own interests as well as yours. So use ex-colleagues, friends, and family. Attend industry related conferences. Now, just in the last few weeks, because I work globally, it's interesting the way COVID is now, keep your fingers crossed, is now waning, and there are more and more industry in person conferences being announced. Yes, there's not going to happen in the next 2 or 3 or 4 months. They're towards the end of the year or early 2022. But you know what? You need to attend those conferences if they are in person, because they are from your function, your industry, your peers, and they all have a huge network. Tap into their network and let them tap into your network. Remember, it's give before you take. So use industry related conferences. Many are still going virtual communications. I don't know whether they will all go back to in person. One would hope so, but you never know. But use industry related conferences, whether they be on virtual communications or whether we go back to the traditional in person conferences. And hopefully you can actually shake hands. Do you remember that? A lot of people, including myself, want to shake people's hands because it's part of the relationship building. So attend industry related conferences, attend networking events. Now, the big one is meetup.com. I'll spell that for you. MEETUP.com. It's a huge global, every country I can imagine, and you could if you wanted to host a networking event, you can put it up on meetup.com. I'll give you an example. I just typed in, I know it's nothing to do with careers, just before I was preparing for this Tuesdays at 2, I typed in roller skating, Toronto. I found eight meetups for roller skating in Toronto. I typed in job search, Toronto. I found 7. So there is a whole wealth of networking events on meetup.com. Most of them, I'm going to say probably 90% or even more, are via social media. But hopefully, as I said a few minutes ago, they will open up to in person at some time or other. So think about meetup.com. It's a whole new world. Prior to COVID, I used to travel a lot, speaking gigs to business schools, to business leaders and whatever, industry related conferences. And I used to use Meetup where I was a lot because I went to some awesome networking events. Give you a classic example. I live here about an hour and a half north of Toronto, but of course I go to London because I have a London office and I am English, and I go to my London office very frequently. One day I typed in Canadian in London, and there was a meetup group for Canadian expats. Perfect for me. Perfect meetup for you. So use Meetup. Places of faith, temples, churches, synagogues, or whatever. Everybody who attends that faith place has a network. So use it. It's also a good way to get to know people off the traditional religious way. So yeah, your local community. We all have local communities. I network within my local community here in Horseshoe Valley, Ontario. And I've met some really interesting people. And I've actually got some clients. But there are lots of business leaders or retired business leaders in my community. They're retired, they're business leaders. They all have a network. So don't be frightened. Don't be timid. Don't be shy to tell the world that you are wanting to manage your career, and if you are in career transition, tell the world there's no illness. It's not an illness to be in career transition. It's a fact of life today. But the crux of networking boils down to these two things. Be professional, pretty simple, eh? And be respectful. Be professional and be respectful. That's all I'm asking. But those people who aren't respectable, those people who aren't professional, do you really want to network with them? So you dress accordingly and you put on a good show yourself. Don't wear jeans and an old shirt with holes in it or stains or whatever. Be professional, because the whole thing boils down to first impressions count. This is the be all and end all in networking. And I stick and I adhere to this. Give before you receive. Give before you receive. Pay it forward. You will be remembered 2, 4, 7, 10 years down the road. If you give before you receive, you pay it forward. So I'm going to wrap it up. Anybody got questions? There's a couple of questions coming in. I'll answer them in a couple of minutes. So be targeted. It's very, very important. It's no use you being over here. Yeah, you can connect with thousands of people, but those thousands of people won't bring you value. So be targeted. Create a list. If you want to go and work for XYZ company, you need to network with career influencers at that particular company off the hiring chain, so you get to know the corporate culture, a lot about their business, their products, their service, etc., their financials or whatever. But you also need to network with the person who will be your boss or your boss's boss. I can tell you, I've been in this business so long, 26 years. Those people who network, those people who give before they receive, those people that pay it forward, those people that are targeted, advance their network faster, rapidly, before others. So let me just put my glasses on and let me see what the question is. Oh, excellent advice from John Baxter. Oh, thank you, John. Anybody got any other questions? I'm more than happy to answer them. Networking works. Make it work for you. You won't advance your career, or you won't be as successful as perhaps you want to be if you don't network. If you're an introvert, social media, like we are on Zoom or other virtual communications, is an ideal way. You don't have to be in person. But I would suggest, and I'm looking forward to getting back to networking in person. Very, very important to me. It's very, very important to you. Here's comes a question. Just bear with me 1 second here. Sebastian. Hi, Martin. Any advice on how to network without creating too much attention in which your current employer can notice your job search? Now, that's a great question, Sebastian. Oh, there's some good ones coming in. Right. So, yeah. So, it's like anything. The further you stick your head above the water, the more opportunities come your way. But the bulk of jobs search, if you are gainfully employed, has to be confidential. Unless you've got the writing on the wall, you're told you're going to be laid off, terminated in July, August, September time, and then you can be on a furious job search and they'll let you do that normally. But yeah, so don't be overt. Don't put on your LinkedIn, I'm looking for a job, and don't put that green circle that goes around your portrait photo on LinkedIn. But you should always be networking anyway, even when you're gainfully employed and so it's not going to trigger the attention of somebody who could be your boss or your boss's boss. So gently, you can take, if you wanted to update your LinkedIn, you can take LinkedIn offline and you can add a little bit, put it back online, add another little bit, put it back online, and then they probably won't notice. But don't be overt if you want to do it in a confidential environment. And then, as I say, network. Who are the companies you want to go and work for, Sebastian? You must have companies that you want to go and work for, that you hold in high esteem. You like their products, you like their services or whatever. So network in that environment and gradually build your network up. And attend a meetup. They're not going to know that you're attending a meetup. So attend meetups, industry-related conferences. Ask them if they would pay you to go to an industry-related conference, because conferences generally are very expensive. They may pay you, and then you can network within that own environment. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of advice and some food for thought. And Majed, I haven't heard from you for a long time. How can we deal with a current employer if they find out that we are open for another opportunity? Wow. Okay, so it's a fact of life. And I'm a great believer in this. That's why I'm in this business. Majid, I think we've had this conversation before. Who manages your career? You manage your career. It's not your company. Your company could dispose of you tomorrow or the week after next or whatever. You manage your career. So you have to be careful. Yeah, you don't want to upset the cart, but you also have to be careful and be very tactful and diplomatic in working a way out and working your way into another company. Now, where you are in the Middle East, the same philosophy applies. The bulk of jobs aren't through job boards. They are or executive recruiters. They are through networking. So you come from I think it was INSEAD or HEC in Paris and the MBA. There's a huge alumni network waiting for you to tap into, a huge network. So use that network, and then some of them may be attached to some of your one of your companies, but they can't, depending on the law in your particular country, they can't fire you for you're managing your career, looking for a job, actively looking for a job. They may be able to make your life a little bit uncomfortable, but they can't, in theory, fire you because you manage your career. Hopefully that answers your question. If it doesn't, please shoot me another comment. I'm more than happy to answer it or advance it. So anybody got any other questions? We got two great questions today. I'm more than happy. Every Tuesday, I am here for you to answer your questions on career management. So it's great to have somebody from the Middle East, Majed. Thank you very much for attending. And then somebody from Canada and somebody from the UK and a couple of people from Canada. So here's Majed. Great answer. Thank you. Well, it's a pleasure, Majed. So, if I could bring you any more value, you know where I am. We've worked together before, so I'll be happy to help you. Let's wrap this one up. Hopefully, you've got a message that networking works for you. So, you need to spend a voluminous amount of time when you're in career transition and when you are gainfully employed. Please don't drop off the face of the earth. That's stupid career management. You need to sensibly manage your career. So good questions coming in. Something, see if we've got anybody. What about why are you leaving your current employer? Well, if you get an exit interview, and sadly, so many companies don't do exit interviews. They should do, because they want to know. They want to know from you, the employer, why you are leaving. Be open, be honest, but don't burn bridges, because you never know, Majed, when you want to go back to that company. So never burn your bridges, but be open or honest. Perhaps you're getting a salary increase. Perhaps you're getting a promotion. Perhaps there's new challenges. Perhaps they're giving you new skills. Perhaps they're going to send you to school. So think about being polite, being open, and being honest in the exit interview. Your boss, where you have the exit interview, has probably exited other companies before, but they just want to know why you are leaving. Because if they're a good company, they need to manage their employees, and you manage your career. Hopefully you've got some good substance, some good ground advice today. Now, I'm looking forward to my 50th, next Tuesdays at 2. 50th Tuesdays at 2. And the topic of conversation then will be 5 cover letters, the different types of cover letters. And yes, cover letters are still required today. Not read by all, but you'll find out next week. So I'm looking forward to coming back for my 50th next week, 50th Tuesdays at 2, when we're talking about cover letters. Those of you who want to learn a lot more about career management, please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Please subscribe and press the bell button, where you will be notified of all future videos coming down the pipeline. And there are many coming down the pipeline. And in the next few weeks, I'm going to be shooting a lot more. And also, if you would like a free, no obligation, no sales pitch, resume or CV critique, I'm more than happy to do that. I'm going to enter my email address in the comments here, and people can email their resume for free. Just tell me you were here, and I'll be happy to give you 30 minutes of my time for free to go through your resume. Oh gosh, didn't go in. Hang on just 1 second. So I'm more than happy to help you. I'll give you 30 minutes of my time to go through your resume from top to bottom, but I do say it as it is, because as you know, a resume or a CV, you only get one kick of the can. Any further questions before I wrap it up? Please join me for my 50th, and please spread the news about this Tuesdays at 2. I bet there are a lot of people in your network that would love to learn about career management, because sadly, people don't know how to manage their careers. And that's why I'm in business. So until next Tuesday at 2, have a great week. Network. Build your network in the next 7 days. So when you join me next Tuesday, you'll have another 10, another 15, or another 20 people in your network who can bring you value. But remember, give before you receive and pay it forward. So have a great week, and we'll see you next week for number 50, Tuesdays at 2.